Okay, and we are froze, but we're working on it. Looks like Livestream's done an update. Not sure if you guys can hear everything that's going on, but we're going to get right into it here today with what Livestream is trying to do. But anyway, we're going to go straight into Eternal Flame News. And for you guys, I'll actually type the link in here for you guys to follow. It's eternalflamenews.blogspot.com, and we have a few articles we're going to cover. Let's start with Brighton, Michigan. A lot of you guys are probably familiar. You would have a high school or junior high dance, the prom. What would you do if your administrators, not the principal, but the administrator for your school district, bans dancing? For those of you that are over 40 and over 60, you remember band dancing. You remember Elvis Presley couldn't dance. The camera wasn't below his waist because it was considered vulgar. But in this case, the older terminology, dry humping, the newest terminology for what it's called now, it's called outro sex. And what I mean is simulated sex with clothes on. These kids were as young as 12 years old, were pretty much humping each other's thighs, riding them, so to speak. And the school's Winterfest was canceled over freak dancing.
What's called freaking dancing?
The school's Winterfest dance was scheduled for February 6th, but with concerns with students who engage in freaking, the school required anyone interested in attending the dance sign a contract before the event. Principal Ken, Hammond said the pledge contract was meant to curb students from engaging in sexually suggestive movements on the dance floor. They came up with the idea after seeing the unacceptable dancing at October's homecoming dance. Students protested this contract, and Hammond said that more than 1,500 students were expected to attend, but only 67 students would sign this contract. We here at JMC, we believe that if a school and a group of students are going to go to an extreme where a administration over a whole school would honestly have to sit down and write a contract that no, we're not going to have dry hump dancing on our floor. And I know this personally from being in school a few years ago. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
People do get sexually stimulated from this.
It's been over 10 years ago.
Okay, it's been over 10. Well, it's been 10 years since I've been to a dance. Well, no, it hasn't been 10 years. But anyway, it's been 5 years since I've been to a professional corporate dance. And there, it was an adult situation. There were people doing this stuff, and people were, getting all hot and sweaty and all that stuff. But, society as of today, when it comes to kids that are so sexually, overstimulated, and everything is just blasted right up here, right up in front of you. For you guys that are just now showing up, we're talking about freak dancing. We're talking about, outro sex, dry humping, along to music. What is acceptable in society? What is not acceptable? What does the Word of God say? God says, you must imitate the life of Christ. You must do things so that you look like, you're following God and you're not in this weird limbo with all this weird stuff going on. We're going to go to our next article as soon as I can get it to come up. Here in Ohio, and I think this happened last week, the end of last week. You guys know that, and I need to know about time, so you might want to get on the camera. We got 3 minutes. As you know, there's been this massive, they call it Snowmageddon, or
it's the worst snow I've ever seen. I've lived here for 28 years.
It's crazy, but there was a minister. He was outside, and everyone's got shovels and scrapers, and he was just shoveling the snow, minding his own business, and he was found dead outside of his home while shoveling snow. This was last Wednesday. He got shot. Neighbors said they saw him outside of his home on Bullen Avenue, And
Didn't realize.
10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes possibly later, they knew the police was there. Something happened to them. And I don't understand why can't... And I mean, I'm not going to just sit here and say this could have happened to anyone, but why would a minister get shot for shoveling snow outside of his home? Of course, I don't know the complete details of the location where he lives, but even still, there's been this article, and we're actually going to cover another one. California, in Richmond, which is close to San Francisco. I've been there. There were 3 teens that got shot.
No, 2.
I mean, excuse me. 3 men came into a church, and these 3 men came into the church, and with hoodies on, and next thing you know, I guess they were going to sing, and they're about to sing or something like that. They opened fire, and they shot 2 teenagers. But I originally posted this article the other night. The thing that happened next is they weren't going to cooperate with police to find anything, but then the next thing that happens is they're finally cooperating as of today. There was an article update as of last night. Christians are being attacked in their homes, outside their yard, in their own church. And there's also another article we'll cover. Texas, there's been over 10 fires in Texas, burning arson homes. How much time we have? You sure we got 3 minutes? Okay. Some of you guys might find the next article funny, but how many of you guys have a photo of Jesus on your wall? Most people do. Sometimes, he's white. Sometimes he's black. Sometimes he's on a cross. Sometimes he's got his hands up. Sometimes he's sitting at a dinner table. Well, what would you do if you were a Border Patrol agent and the guys coming through said, "Oh, I really love Jesus. Jesus is my best friend. Oh, yeah." And you're like, "What's that smell? Why does Jesus smell?" I mean, and you open up these photographs to find out that these criminals were smuggling marijuana and pictures of Jesus. Marijuana and pictures of Jesus. Now, I've heard smuggling it in diapers and fake babies, but Jesus? What is this, the Jesus juice or something? What's going on, people? I mean, my goodness, people just don't get it. They said a 22-year-old woman was in a Jeep from Juarez, Mexico, and said I had nothing to do with, I have nothing besides my heart. They checked it out with the dog, and it was the dog that figured it out. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our interviewer of Alex Morosco covering Radicalis. We will return